actually do have a scar. It's my first Inej scar from this one was from a belt, actually. In one of the episodes, there's a fight scene, and we had the stunt double there on the day, and she was so incredible. But I was surprised to see that in the cut it was actually all me for all the aerial stuff. It was half my stunt double and half me. So yeah, there was a lot of us actually. And
well, the stunt team was so amazing that they really put us through our paces to make sure we were all prepped.
Yeah.
Look at you, flush with 5-hole Kruger. What are you going to do with foreign money? We're not getting a damn.
All right, don't crush my dream.
He created, was it, I think, 2 languages that you will, I think, essentially be able to learn at some point. So Ravkan and Kerch, and we had, in the scenes in Ketterdam, you had, even just the details were crazy. You had like all these bottles on the back of, in the Crow Club, that all had Kerch labels and Ravkan labels. You had like Ravkan whiskey next to Kerch. It was just, the attention to detail was wild.
Different little symbols on the playing cards in the the poker table. The different, it wasn't hearts and diamonds. It was brand new, symbols that they would make up that you barely would see. Budapest, but where the architecture is such a extraordinary blend of sort of Eastern and Western so you feel like you're on the cusp of the world.
Even the landscape in Hungary,
gorgeous!
It's such a mixture of terrain, so it was kind of like the perfect place to shoot it. I think we were very lucky.
Really lucky.
We all had read at least one of them by the time that we arrived, but I think quite a few of us had read kind of up to 3, if not 5 of them. It kind of became like a great resource for everyone and just a great reference point. Almost to the point we had to slow down and say, because we knew everything, we had to kind of go, hang on, the audience doesn't know that yet, so we can't just go da la 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 la. We have to still kind of explain things and put the little seeds in.
There would be sticky moments we weren't quite sure what to do with in a scene, and very often the answer would be to go back to the book. And I had a list of Alina and Kira and Darkling lines that I thought were great lines, and especially if they hadn't made it into the script anywhere, they would often solve little problems or little moments that you could just go back to that list and find something which would really sort of tie it together.
Yeah, everyone was very enthusiastic. I remember Gareth who played Felix.
Oh yeah,
he knew everything.
All of them. He knew all
the lore. Everything. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
2 hours after sunset is when you'll go in, Jasper. You'll need to blend in.
Easy.
The lighting valves are on the 2nd floor.
In Hungary, we got to film these beautiful locations. Like the sets that were my favourite were actually practical ones. The rooms had been dressed, but the little palace is a building that we drove a few hours outside of Budapest, and we went to stay in this very eerie, abandoned golf course.
It was like Ex Machina. It was like
Ex Machina. It was terrifying. but to be able to actually film in these extraordinary buildings, you don't feel like you're playing at something. You feel like you're recreating something.
Now, can I do it again?
Show-offs.
I was really, really nervous to meet these two. But when I did, I remember Kit coming into the chemistry read, and for some reason I was just like, mate, have we met before? I feel as though it was really, really weird. I don't know, I feel such a connection to everyone in the cast, and I think without them I wouldn't have had the incredible experience that I did, and working with them was just an absolute pleasure.
I'm just going to come straight out and say it. Yeah, I took my cane and my gloves, and then sort of, when they were in my suitcase ready to go, sent an email being like, this is all right, isn't it? But the damage was done.
Well, I've just got all the guns. I've got 4 of them. But they wouldn't let me take any of the costume pieces. But that was probably because I asked. And asked. I was just really annoying.
Foolish mistake.
Taking them. Foolish mistake. Why be honest?
Two of us together.
We all want to. We all want
Fingers
to.
crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quietly
totally.
confident.
I really hope that this is a show that people fall in love with, because I know that I did making it, and you know, from what we've seen, I still think it's, you know, it's just lovely. It's a beautiful world to escape into. Keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that people respond well to it. So we'll see.